Hello crafters, my name is Linda Dolke and I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! In Australia. So today I want to show you something new, and it's called the Ornate Garden suite of products, and we're going to be making this gorgeous card with it. The new suite, you won't find it in a catalogue because it's actually going to be in our new annual catalogue that comes out in June, but right now it's just the beginning of April and they've decided to release this one, just this suite, from the new catalogue as an early release. Okay, so the suite is what they call a mega suite, and all the products in the suite go together, but you can actually purchase the whole suite as it is right now, or you can just pick pieces out of it. Okay, so there's two stamp sets which I will show you. The one here called Ornate Thanks, which is lots and lots of words. That's this one here. It has some big words and some small ones that complete the sentences, and it's a beautiful set of sentiments. And then we've got this one here with the flowers, and that one is called Ornate Style. Okay, so you've got one with words and one that's just images. So they work really well together, and I am using them together today. Then they also have matching dies. So the Ornate Thanks, the one with the words, has these beautiful border dies that go with them, which are called Ornate Border Dies. And then we've also got the Ornate Layer Dies, which are these beautiful lacy edged frames that match with the Ornate Style stamp set, so the one with the flowers. Then of course there's some other accents. For example, there's the embossing folder, the 3D embossing folder. I'm not using that one today, but it's beautiful. The Ornate Garden ribbon combo pack, which I am using today. I'm going to be using this terracotta tile ribbon. Also our gilded gems, which I'm also using. These are beautiful, I love them. And then over on the next page we've got the gorgeous Ornate Garden specialty paper. Now this paper has beautiful gold foil designs on one side of most of the papers, and then there's floral designs on the reverse side. There are two sheets that don't have the foil pieces, and I hope that that you will see that they are just beautiful, how lovely they look together. I'll show them to you in real life. So I've already chopped up some of mine. This is actually my favourite one. We're using this one today. It's not a gold foiled piece, but I really love the design. The colour in this is terracotta tile, which is one of our new colours, and you can see there's a white and yellow daisy design on the back. This one has the foil design, and this one that's old olive, which is one of the other main colours in the suite, with some beautiful gold foil motifs. Then we have the small flower design on the back. These gorgeous floral gold and white embossed designs, a yellow floral in the back of that one. This is the green, this is mint macaron, this green, so this is a lighter green, so you've got two different greens in the pack with the gold floral, and then another more terracotta tile coloured on the back. This is a different design with gold foil and white, so there's two different designs like that. Some daisies on the back of that one, and that one we've seen already. This one we haven't seen. That's this is not one of the foil ones, but this is actually a larger daisy kind of look, and I've used this on a few cards and it's really pretty. If you feel that any of these are too bright, you can always put a piece of vellum over them to tone them down. Okay, let's get started. And I have already got my pieces cut up and ready to go. I have half a sheet of Whisper White thick cardstock. I've cut it in half horizontally, and then I'm going to make my card front by folding that in half again. There we go. And then I've got a piece here. Now all the measurements I will put up on the screen, but the measurements depend. If you're in the US and you're using inches, there's actually a different measurement because the paper is a different size than if you're in the South Pacific or in Europe. So my metric measurements, and the inches will be on the screen, the metric measurements are 10 centimeters wide by 14.3 long. Okay, and then this piece is half a centimeter less wide on each side. In the US it'll be 1/4 of an inch less on each side, so this one is 13.8 by 9.5. So there you go. And I'm going to go ahead just with some snail and pop that straight onto the background. And we'll put that down I still find that snail is the best adhesive when you're working with designer series paper because it's a lightweight paper, and this is a good lightweight adhesive. Okay, so that's ready to go. It's going to end up being popped onto our white piece at the end. Okay, move that aside. So now I'm going to work on my black piece. This piece of cardstock is cut at 4 inches. I am working with inches. Yes, that's correct. I just find this is the easiest way to go. So this will suit everyone's measurements. 4 inches long by 3 inches wide. Okay, or you can go very close. If you're using metric, I'll put the close enough measurements up on the screen for that too. And then I'm going to get my embossing buddy. This is a super important little tool. If you're embossing, you want to wipe this over your surface before you start. Trying to handle the cardstock as little as possible with your fingers, because you've got oils in your fingers that can actually move onto the surface, and then the embossing powder will stick in places you don't want it to. So this really helps with getting rid of that, and it also is great for getting rid of any static electricity. An embossing buddy is a really small investment, but it's something that's going to make your embossing so much better. If you don't have one, get one. They're fantastic. And then I'm going to ink this up with my Versamark ink. So I'm using, this is Versamark, and I'm just going to make sure that's well inked up. And I'm going to have it, I'd like it to go sort of coming down towards this corner, and I'm sort of moving it down a little bit, so I've got a bit more space down in here on this corner because I'm going to end up putting my sentiment there. So I'm just trying to not touch my square more than I need to with my fingers. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm bringing in gold embossing powder. I always use a small container. I find that's the best way, and I've got my gold embossing powder. I love the Stampin' Up! Gold embossing powder. It's a real, it almost gives you an antique look. It's a really lovely gold, not brassy, it's just beautiful. So I'm going to, whoops, I missed a bit. Tip that liberally over that, and then tap that off, turn it around to the other side, making sure I'm covering all of my floral design, trying not to handle it too much. I'm flicking over the back to flick off any extra powder. Now, let's have a look at it. Because we use the embossing buddy first, that's actually really good. If you don't have an embossing buddy, or if you find you have any extra stray bits of powder, you can either remove them gently with your finger, which is fine, or a small brush. A brush is really good, especially if you need to get close into the design. I've missed a little bit here, I can see, so I'm just going to top that up. That's better. That's better. Okay, all right. And because it's in a container, now I can just tip that back into here. You can see I managed to get a little bit here on my paper. That's okay. I'll just use a brush and clean that up and make sure it all, as much of it as possible, goes back into my container, and that way your powder will last for a really long time. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my heat tool, and we're going to heat this. I'm going to turn it up to high, and you can hold it with a pair of tweezers or your fingers if you keep your fingers well out of the way, because the heat tool is very hot. Here we go. Okay, putting that to one side, and just we'll clean up my desk here for a second. Okay, desk is nice and clean, and I've got my piece here ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my trimmer. Here we go. And I'm actually going to cut this at 1 inch intervals. So I'm going to make 3 cuts. I'm making sure I put it right on the 1 inch mark. And that's why measuring it at 4 inches is important. So that's going to give us 3 cuts. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so now I have 4 even pieces. Whoops, around the wrong way. So what you want to do is we'll get our trimmer out of the way. By the way, if you don't have a trimmer, that's a great trimmer. I love this trimmer. It's really easy to use. Now the important thing here is we just have to make sure that our picture that we've chopped up is complete. And I've got that round the wrong way. So So that one goes there. Just make sure it is actually a complete picture. Yep, that's correct. And just move those out of the way. I'm going to bring in this piece again. And now what's important, of course, is that I put these on evenly. So I want to line them up on here, and I want to have even spacing as much as I can. Now, using a grid underneath your work is really great for this, because it does help you know exactly where the middle is. And I'm just making sure they line up. Okay, pretty happy with that. That's not bad. I could even go a little closer together if I wanted to. In fact, I think I will. Okay, happy. That's good. I say I'm happy and then I move it because I'm a perfectionist and I need to have everything perfect. All right, now I have my dimensionals. And have you guys seen, these are black dimensionals, so they're perfect for this. Black cardstock and black dimensionals are just made for each other. If you're wondering where the black dimensionals are, they were in our last holiday catalogue, but they're still available. They're fantastic things. So what I'm doing, I'm going to do one piece at a time. I'm putting 2 black dimensionals underneath, and when you take the backs off, you can see they look great. See, black on black really makes it very professional looking. All right, so I'm putting those on one at a time. Don't push them down too hard, just in case you're not happy with the placement at the end. You can still move them, but yeah, that's totally up to you. You might not be as what's the word, pedantic as me. Make sure it's on the right way. You really don't want to put them on upside down. Last one. So check as you put each one down, make sure that you're actually completing the picture that you set out to complete, because you don't want to put them upside down. It won't look right. Oh, see, I just did what I almost said not to do. Almost did it. Right. Okay, so now I've got those all in place. I have got a strip of paper I've already cut. This is 1 centimetre wide, or just a little bit less than ½ an inch. And I'm going to stamp from the Ornate Thanks set. I'm going to use I'll do the same one, You're Amazing, because I quite like that one. I think it's a good one. It's a good one to send out. I've got some members of my team at the moment who've done some incredible things lately, so it might be time to send them a card. Okay, so I'm popping this on here, You're Amazing. I'm just gonna, sorry if you can see the back of my head for a second, I just want to get right in over that. And also it helps to line it up on the paper as well to help you stay straight. Yep, that's good. Now you could use the banner punch to do the ends of this, but I'm actually just going to come in and flag the ends with my scissors. So I chop into the middle and then I join from the sides into that middle join, just like that. So chop into the middle. And there we go, just like that. If you wanted to go around the outside with a sponge, you could certainly do that, or you could just use it as it is. And I'm actually going to put this piece here because, like I said before, I've actually put my picture up a little bit, so it gives me a bit more space down the bottom here. I do have this gorgeous terracotta tile ribbon from the ribbon combo pack that matches this suite. And I'm just going to tie a quick bow with that. It's a nice, easy ribbon to tie with. Really like this ribbon. It's got a lovely satin kind of finish to it. Alright, I'm using my ribbon scissors just to trim off the ends. If you were watching my video I did the other day, I didn't have my ribbon scissors handy, and goodness me, you realise how useful the ribbon scissors are for ribbon rather than the paper snips. Okay, and then I'm going to use my glue dots just to pop that on. Here they are. And pop that onto the glue dot, pull the glue dot off just like that, and the dot now is attached to the ribbon, and I'm going to pop that in the corner because that's rather cute, isn't it? Now we're going to attach this to the card base. I use Tombow for this. When I'm going cardstock to cardstock, it's a little bit more heavy duty than the snail, so heavier paper calls for heavier glue or adhesive. And this needs to make sure it goes on the right way so I don't make a card that opens the wrong way. That would be bad. Okay, and to finish it off, there's one last thing we need to do, and that's use these beautiful gilded gems. I love them. They are part of the suite as well, and they have a beautiful shiny surface. So I'm just going to add a few. 3 is usually a good number. I'm just going to pop one up here. There's 3 different sizes, and I'm using all 3 sizes. And then the little guy, which I might put just here like that. There we go. And now I have 2 cards. And they're both beautiful. I do love this suite. I think it's going to be a real hit. I love all the beautiful dies. I didn't actually finish showing you. I showed you in the picture, but I didn't show you the real thing. These are the Ornate border dies, and you can see all these beautiful edges. That it does gorgeous edges for your card that you can add as standalone pieces or just to do an edge. Beautiful. And then these are the Ornate layers. Aren't they beautiful? They're gorgeous too. I think I said they were called layers, didn't I? Is that what I said? No, yes, Ornate layers dies, and they're beautiful. So you'll have lovely card fronts made with those if you wanted to use them that way. Anyway, that's it from me today. I'll be back with more for you soon, and I'm doing lots of Facebook Lives over on my Facebook page. So if you wanted to head over there, I'll pop the address for that in the description. I think these are beautiful products, and they're going to be a lot of fun to work with, and I hope you enjoy them. See you soon, guys. I'll be back with more. Bye-bye.